Welcome, friends, haters, gentle lovers, and feeders. Join me as we experience together the most bafflingly interesting person on the internet. On today's episode, Amberlynn Reed does basically nothing. Hello, my friends. Amberlynn uploaded her weekly vlog, number 10, and that means it is time for Amberlynn Reed Bingo. If you look in the description, there's a link where you can get your own bingo card full of random Amberlynn Reed sayings and concepts and whatnot, and just play along. It's just for fun, and just let me know if you got a bingo in the comments. Now, in the last bingo game, I missed one, pretty obvious one. She was holding a bottle of perfume talking about Scentbird, and I had perfume right on my card. Now, it wouldn't have given me a bingo, so it's not that big a deal, but man, I felt stupid because that was pretty obvious. And what I would love to do at some point is actually do a live stream and play bingo live where people can point out like, bro, she just said that or whatever. I'm not sure that I'm quite ready for that just yet, being live. I don't really know much about it, but I think live bingo would be a lot of fun. But today we're gonna talk about her vlog that is titled, "This is a Huge Change, Starting an SSRI, and Cook With Me." And I'm assuming the huge change and the SSRI are basically just repeating what she said when she did the video about her being diagnosed with hypothyroidism. But I don't know, I guess we'll see. And just FYI, I will talk about the Emily situation a little bit later in the video. I'll bring it up and kind of go over my thoughts on it and stuff. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
Good morning, you guys. So, if I look tired, I am tired. And if I look like my eyes are swollen, probably because they are.
What do you want to bet she's gonna say she's been crying again?
Sometimes you just need a crying session literally right before you fall asleep.
And that's what people do that want attention all the time, and they'll drop a little, what they think is a subtle reference to them crying. But at some point you're just like, oh my God, shut up. You're crying all the time. We know, we get it. It even gets annoying when people that we know are actually crying are doing it.
So I actually had my doctor's appointment today because if you guys watch my weekly vlog, my doctor's office was sending me text messages of when like a new appointment was popping up because my appointment wasn't for a month. But I kept clicking accept, well, responding with the word accept, not quick enough. I finally did it, you guys. I finally did it. Yesterday, me and my mom were out and I replied to accept.
She's already talked about this in another video.
So freaking fast. Like I have been glued to my phone just waiting for another text message and I made it. It's crazy because this doctor's appointment went from, oh, I'm excited because I want to be on Zipbound and I want to talk to my doctor about it, to, oh, I'm anxious and nervous because I have an elevated D-dimer. I'm still having this really weird pain. If you guys haven't seen my video, I've been having just like this sharp left pain and I feel like...
See, it's that elevated D-dimer that she's trying to make it seem like it's worse than it is. She was just recovering from cellulitis, according to her, and she went to the doctor, they saw an elevated D-dimer, and they didn't make a big deal out of it. She did. She has been making a big deal out of it since then, but they clearly didn't see a problem with it. And it's probably because she had just had an infection. So she's just trying to find some reason to get sympathy out of her audience, to get people to go, oh my gosh, I'm so worried for you. She loves that.
Like down here, and like I was feeling at one point like through my boob. I felt a little bit in my back. And I think about it, and it is reminiscent to a few years ago when I was getting CT scans on my lungs. And at first they were like, you could have lung cancer. And then it moved on to a blood clot. And then it moved on to a collapsed lung. And then it moved on to walking pneumonia.
So she's making that seem more complicated than it really was back then. She basically came on and immediately said, you guys, I have a collapsed lung. I don't know what to do with that information. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't understand that. Like, partially collapsed lung. Like, a collapsed lung is kind of a scary thing. She just said the bottom of it is collapsed.
And just FYI, she later stated that they just said that there was a spot on her lung. I don't think anybody ever told her, point blank period, that her lung was collapsed.
That's terrifying, and I just don't know what to do with that information.
So it turns out there was just a spot. And my guess is that Amber was like freaking out and wanting the doctor to tell her right now, what is it? What is it? What is it? And so they were probably like, listen, these are the things that it could be. It could be lung cancer. It could be a blood clot. It could be a collapsed lung. It could be pneumonia. And she was like, collapsed lung? You guys, I have a collapsed lung. And freaked out. And then later, she says, I was misdiagnosed. It turns out that she had pneumonia. If it was pneumonia, why would they still be finding it now? Because here's the thing, pneumonia only lasts like at most a few months. And a spot on your lung from pneumonia typically resolves in 2 to 4 weeks given antibiotic treatment. And this was several years ago, just like she said. So I don't think there's anything there. I think when she started feeling this pain, it reminded her of that lung thing. And when all of a sudden she wasn't getting any kind of serious diagnosis that she could use for sympathy, she then started going, oh yeah, that one spot on my lung, I could start saying that again. So I don't know whether they found that spot or not again, but if they did, she's had it all this time and it's not been an issue.
I got my results back literally like a week ago, and I still have that weird thing that they saw last time. I don't know. Plus, I really want...
See, and when she says, I don't know, I just think she's lying. I don't think she has that spot there.
To test again for diabetes. So I did a whole fasting. I haven't ate for over 12 hours. There's just a lot of boxes that I want to tick off and talk
Talks about food.
To him about. It no longer is a fun little, ooh, Zepbound, ooh, weight loss injection. Now it's like something deeper and scarier, and I'm just not really excited for it. I'm really nervous.
See, this is what I'm talking about. By saying, now it's something deeper and scarier. She's just trying to get sympathy. She's trying to get people to go, oh my gosh, I'm so worried for you. When she has not been given a reason to think that it's deeper and scarier. Because if you'll remember, she saw elevated D-dimer and immediately started saying, I have a blood clot. She even said that she told her doctor that if it's not in my heart, it's got to be somewhere else. Like she had known for sure there was a blood clot, but it was just an elevated D-dimer, which again, can happen for a lot of reasons. I'm going to count that as next day. Ooh, took Twinkie for a walk. Nice.
Hi guys, so currently at the vet again. It's actually 2 days later. I have not filmed anything since after my doctor's appointment, but I talked about kind of a little bit of what happened at my doctor's appointment in my weigh-in video. And for those who do not watch, I'm going to edit down a very, very condensed version of that for you guys here. So I've been going through a lot of stress, anxiety, worry, depression, some very low lows.
Hang on. So not only is she just talking about stuff that was already in a video, she's actually showing a clip from that video. How long is this clip? She's going to show the diabetes results again. However, okay, she did say in this video, the old video, because it was in the weigh-in, and she did say back then that in the weigh-in videos, people don't watch those nearly as much. So she's putting that here. So, okay, fair enough. Whatever. It's fine.
I've shared a very small fraction of it, but majority of it is happening behind the scenes. I'm absolutely, without a doubt, suffering in silence. So I did have my doctor appointment yesterday. They ask you like this depression screening. They ask you all these like...
You can't say suffering in silence out loud and be suffering in silence.
mental health questions, and mine was not good. I ended up literally breaking down in front of my doctor and in front of my mom. I'm like bawling my eyes out. They're handing me tissue. Like I had a full-fledged like...
And I mentioned a lot of this in that video where she actually released this, but she was self-reporting. So anytime Amber self-reports anything, it's always going to be the worst it can possibly be. It's going to be so extreme, you guys. You've never felt anything like I'm feeling. And whether or not she actually thinks that, I don't know. You know, I think she has convinced herself that she feels things way more than anybody else. But I just don't think it's as bad as she thinks it is.
Anxiety attack right in front of him. It was really embarrassing, but it genuinely shows like the level of my mental health. I'm feeling everything so strongly and so deeply. My emotions are all over the place and I feel really low, and just a lot of mental health problems that I do not want to speak out loud.
So I'm going to try to explain this as best I can, the way it's kind of going through my head. So she says, I had this anxiety attack. I had this breakdown in front of my doctor. And then she says that genuinely shows the level of my mental health and how bad it is, you guys. And to me, it sounds like she is just trying to convince you that her mental health is really bad by saying that genuinely shows, you know, it's true. It's really bad. It's so bad. In fact, she did that with Feline or Jade when she mentioned kind of how they broke up, and she was talking about how Amber fell in love with somebody else and it broke Feline's heart. And she said, that shows how much Feline really loved me.
I obviously just could not control falling in love with someone else. I very much fell in love. I did. And it just was really hard for her, and it became hard for me, and it became a very big mess. And it just really went to show like how much she did love me.
It sounds to me like she's trying to convince herself.
I just have constant, deep, painful emotions that I experience all day long, and it's genuinely ruining my life. Long story short,
I'm going to go with regulating my emotions.
I was prescribed an SSRI to help with my anxiety, my lows, my depression, and to help with like the deep feelings.
How about the deep feelings of anger, maybe? And the desire to physically harm somebody else? Like Emily? And it may be a little late for that, but maybe they would help with that too. Because it's a pattern of behavior at this point. Crystal has mentioned it. Jade had mentioned it, or there had been a rumor that there had been some physicality with Jade. And now Emily. And of course, the Code Red Mountain Dew incident with Destiny. So it is a pattern of behavior that she would be physical with a significant other. And just in case you don't know for some reason by now what has transpired with the whole Emily situation, Rachel released a video where she showed some DMs between a person that she called A and then Emily. And basically A sort of manipulated Emily into sharing some details about her relationship with Amber. And in those DMs, she sort of hinted that Amber was physical with her in a negative way. Like, she never comes out and says it specifically, but it sort of insinuates that Amber was physical. And now it looks like the video has been taken down. You can still see it on Jordy's channel. He reacted to it live, but I just watched it right after it was uploaded. And there was kind of a debate in Girl World about the ethics of kind of how it was released and how she obtained the information, and that's why Rachel took it down. So I'll go over that in a minute. So maybe SSRIs will help with that, but it could be too little too late at this point, because hopefully nobody will want to be with her anymore because they'll see who she really is, which is why I'm a little on the fence about how the information came out. I can see both sides as far as like the ethics of how we found out about Emily's statement. Jordy had mentioned that he was like, I don't care about how Emily feels because, you know, this person was a stranger on the internet. You shouldn't be sharing stuff with that person. But according to Rachel, this person had some real, like, intimate information and intimate details about Emily's life that they were sharing with her. And by her, I mean Emily, to try to kind of make her feel comfortable in sharing. So I don't know. We don't know who A is, so we don't know how close they were. But if A is an internet stranger, then obviously Emily's an idiot for sharing. But if they're not that much of a stranger, then that's a really shitty person for doing that. Especially since there was a line in those messages that says, it's safe for you to talk to me. So, you know, there's so much information we just don't know. And maybe I missed it. Maybe somebody has figured out who A is, or somebody knows some more information as far as how close they actually were. So yeah, this was sort of a pickle.
Of having BPD, it's not going to help regulate my emotions or anything like that. Like, I have to work on that myself.
There she goes. She actually said regulating my emotions anyway, so no problem. And it's not really technically a repeat of another bingo square because she didn't technically say regulating my emotions before. I was kind of fudging it to make it work.
But it's going to help stabilize me a little bit. So we did my fasting labs and I got those results today. Regarding if I have diabetes or not, I want to show you this clip. All right, you guys, my results
We've already seen this.
This is my MacBook. Where's the diabetic?
So she just says, no, I don't have diabetes, which whatever.
I do not have diabetes. I'm not even pre-diabetic. There is something that I'm going to be going on medicine for. Turns out I have hypothyroidism. That's so hard to say for me. I don't know why. So people who have that is
actually what she has is the biggest excuse she's ever found. That's what she has. And so she'll say this in a second because we've already seen this, but she says it is the leading cause of weight gain in the world, which that's just not true. Excess calories is the leading cause of weight gain, period. And she's going to basically say everything is working against me when I'm trying to lose weight. However, she also says she's going on a medication for the hypothyroidism, so she shouldn't be able to use it as an excuse, but that'll be interesting to see going forward if she does.
So people who have that is a leading cause of weight gain. Like, I've constantly been like, it's hard for me to lose weight because of my lymphedema, my going through menopause.
Oh, the edemas. Ooh. Oh man, if she does the duck lips, This doesn't feel like a video where she's going to do the duck lips, but you never know.
At such an early age, the hysterectomy, like the list can just go on. And now, bam, smack in the face. I have the very thing that causes people to gain weight. So on top of taking the medicine.
See, she says I have the very thing that causes people to gain weight. Not me. You know, I can't do anything about it. I have the thing that causes people to gain weight. So I'm just going to eat my yum-yums. What else can I do, you know?
That I'm also going to be taking a vitamin D because it was a little low. It definitely has gotten higher every single time I've gotten it checked, so that's good. So updates about the elevated D dimer. My doctor said it could be due to when I had cellulitis or COVID.
What? Yeah, duh. So I'm going to guess the conversation went something like this. Hi, Amber, how are you feeling? Good, I just got over cellulitis. Cool, let's do these tests. It has an elevated D dimer. And the nurse says, oh, remember she said she just got over cellulitis. And the doctor goes, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because that makes sense.
COVID. He isn't even sure what is causing it, so he's just guessing. I forgot to mention that in my way.
See, she's so dismissive of doctors and stuff. So she says, he's not even sure, he's just guessing. That's not what they're doing. Because when a doctor sees that you have an elevated D dimer and they know that you just got over cellulitis, they use their education to then say, oh, yeah, that makes sense. He's not just guessing.
But I start all of my medicines tomorrow. I am nervous to take any medicine, let alone tons at one time. And I'm also going to be taking one for the inflammation. I did mention that to you guys about a week ago where I was like, I don't know if I want to take it. The ER prescribed it to me. My doctor suggests that I do it because of the pain that I've been feeling, because it could be.
Well, I recommend that everybody do it every once in a while.
Due to like nerve damage, or it could be muscular, etc., etc. He thinks that'll help with that. It's called meloxicam. I don't know. So it's a lot of different medicines at once. I'm going to be starting on the exact same day. It makes me nervous. But I ordered off of Amazon a pill organizer because I need to take this seriously.
You know, her first thought is, I need to take all these pills. I got to buy something. You know, she's getting that pill organizer, you guys. And that's what Emily said in that conversation with A, was that Amber just buys so much just random junk. She bought a giant 100-pack of highlighters or something and then left them there because she didn't care. She used them for some word searches and then just left them there because she just spends money like it's never gonna run out. And I will say one of my favorite lines from the Emily leak was where she said, I spent a fortune on those Billie Eilish tickets and your girl got me Tupperware for Christmas. That sounds about right. That was pretty funny. But Amber will always claim that she is the best gift giver and gifts are her love language and she's so thoughtful. I think she just enjoys the shopping for gifts. I don't think she really gives much thought to what she's actually getting anybody. She just enjoys the buying.
All right, you guys. So I'm just making some food. Right now I have some onion that I just chopped up. I'm going to be using some lean beef here with some olive oil and garlic spaghetti sauce. Instead of using pasta, I'm going to be using French style green beans. It's honestly delicious this way. I'm also going to be adding some minced garlic. I was going to call it onion, but this is not onion.
What do you want to bet there's going to be some garlic salt?
I should get fresh garlic and just like chop it myself. Onion and garlic being cooked together smells so good. And I have tons of onion left over that I need to put in a baggie. So I'm just mincing my meat here. Gonna add pepper, lots and lots of pepper. I love pepper. Some garlic salt. So random facts.
When you get your card, it might have garlic salt. I will add garlic salt to the list of words and stuff that can be on there.
About my new set of pots and pans. Normally pots and pans, like you have to heat them up a little bit before you put the food in there. These in the instructions say not to do that. All right, so I'm gonna save this onion. I'm gonna cut it so it fits better in the bag.
Is that a thing? I don't cook a lot. In fact, like the most I cook is like mac and cheese for my son. But is that something you're supposed to do, is heat up pans first and then put stuff in it? Because I've been doing it wrong. If that's what you're supposed to do.
Bag.
Riveting.
I'm really trying to eat
This is a vlog where somebody is putting onion in a bag.
I'm really weird about it. Okay, so while my food is cooking on the stove. We're gonna try this Olipop cherry vanilla. There's prebiotics, botanicals, plant fiber. It says that they pinpointed cherry pie
That's a taste test.
flavor. So let's see. That's not half bad. Yeah, that's good. Wow, there's 9 fiber. Okay. I give this an 8 out of 10. Plus, the can's pink and there's a cherry.
All right, so I'm going to count that as 10 out of 10 recommend because, again, it's the spirit of the square. It's supposed to be like a grade and recommending or whatever.
And there's a cherry, excuse me. All right, so it is finished. Oh my God, I'm so excited. This looks so good and comforting. This would also be good with some like cooked broccoli, maybe on some potatoes, but I'm just gonna have it like this tonight. Kind of like a soup a little bit. Damn, that's good. Carbs are not the enemy, but if you ever want to replace pasta with something, French green beans, I promise. This is delicious. I'm adding this to the meal plan. I have tons of leftover for tomorrow.
There we go.
Hello, it is the next day. So, about an hour ago, I took my first thyroid medicine. I'm taking levothyroxine. I'm not good at pronouncing these things. So, I'm supposed to take that an hour before I eat. I'm also...
Okay, so this is just a wild speculation, okay? But I did an interview, and it's actually coming out in the next day or two. It's pretty much finished. And in that interview, I'm talking to a GLP-1 scientist who is actually also an expert on the lymphatic system. So we talk about GLP-1 and lymphedema and stuff, and the way Amber approaches it and whether that's right or not. And in that video, he said something interesting because we were talking about the expired vials or the expired syringes that Amber had. And he said, well, she never showed them. But he said, one thing I do know about Amber is if she can show something, she generally will. You know, like if she can show to prove what she's talking about, she'll do that. Just like the diabetes results she just showed. I thought it was interesting that she showed those, but she did not show the hypothyroidism diagnosis. And I just think this is a little interesting that she's talking about the medication and naming it, but not showing the name of it. And maybe she is taking it. I don't know. But again, if she can show something, she tends to.
Also filming my what I ate today video. I just ordered Chipotle. With my Chipotle, I'm going to be taking my Mellow Oxycam.
Good choice. Chipotle. Yeah, that's what you need for sure.
I suck at pronouncing these, which is for my inflammation in the...
But remember, guys, she doesn't want to feel guilty about it, so it's fine. Because her relationship with food, you know, is just to not feel guilty about anything, ever.
Pain that I've been feeling on my left side. And I'm also going to be taking my first Zoloft. I'm so excited. I know it doesn't start working for like 5 to 6 weeks, but every single day that I take it is just another day closer to me feeling better. I really want to believe that this is going to help me. That's why they make this medicine. That's why they make medicines like this. I have taken Zoloft in the past, but I took it alongside Lamictal, and it seemed to work for me. So we're going to see how it works with me just taking it by itself. I explained to my doctor that I have formed a fear of Lamictal. I know it doesn't make sense. I have weird anxieties.
I know it doesn't make sense. I'm just so quirky. I'm so interesting, you guys. I'm really, really interesting. No, you're not. That's stupid. Shut up.
Then I'm going to be taking my vitamin D with my last meal of the day because it's really good to take vitamin D like with a meal that has fat because vitamin D like attaches to the fat. Yeah, I'm going from a girly pop who has really bad...
Ooh, girly pop.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
anxiety about medicines and literally took none to now I'm taking 3 plus a vitamin. And you know what? I am happy that I'm doing that. I'm proud of myself that I'm doing that. Yes, I'm anxious, but I'm doing it because I care about myself. I'm doing it because I want to better myself. And I have high hopes that with all of this, I will slowly see my mood improve and my health improve.
So here's the thing. Even if all that's true, it just is so weird how she talks about it. You know, I'm just so proud of myself. I'm just so awesome. You know, it just, I don't know. It just always comes off as so disingenuous and so just self-absorbed. And generally speaking, positive affirmations are not a bad thing, but Amber does it so much. It's just, she congratulates herself and is proud of herself for basically everything, or basically nothing.
Hello, hello. So you're seeing me in the same spot.
Oh, face gems.
Different day. I ended up not doing my what I ate today video yesterday. I was just not in it to win it. I don't know what it was, but that Zoloft made me so tired. My doctor told me it's either gonna make me super tired or it's gonna give me a lot of energy. It made me tired. I had zero energy. Like, it was so crazy. So I'm actually filming my what I ate today video right now. Yeah.
There's the carrot. There's the carrot, you guys. We know how much she loves carrots. If you missed my reaction to that video, you won't know what I'm talking about, but she took a bite of the carrot and went, like it was some delicious thing, and it was just a carrot.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay very close attention today to see if it makes me tired. I'm gonna see if it's just a coincidence, because I'm gonna be at bingo here in a little bit. So if I start feeling tired at bingo, which I never feel tired at bingo, then I'm gonna be like, all right, it's definitely the Zoloft doing that. You guys, it is not it. It's not it. Don't move to Oklahoma, okay? I'm gonna have to go downstairs and check it out because I looked out the window. It's hailing. Big chunks like this, and the whole street is just flooded. What? Like, there has been so many tornadoes. Where I used to live in Kentucky had a really bad tornado just a few days ago, or like a week ago. I'm pretty sure it was just like a few days ago, and 11 people died. My heart goes out to you guys. And then I also
You know, and when Amberlynn says something like, my heart goes out to you guys, it's because she knows that makes her look good, or she thinks that makes her look good.
also saw, okay, wait, I think the hail is letting up. Yep. It's flooded down there. Oh my God. I also saw that we're supposed to get a lot of hurricanes this year too. It's frightening.
Yeah, and we did have a lot of really severe weather in Oklahoma a few days ago, and I did hear some hail and stuff. So yeah, it happened, but she acts like such a child when it comes to storms and stuff.
And the whole street is just flooded. What? All right, you guys, update. I have not felt tired at all today, so I think yesterday might have just been like a fluke. But I have been busier today, so that's definitely helped, but I just wanted to give a little update on that. I was told by my doctor to just like pay attention to the side effects or whatever happens from taking Zoloft. Zoloft is the med that I'm taking. I don't remember if I said that in this vlog or not. So I'm mainly doing like all the tracking in my journal. I did talk about how like yesterday I felt tired, like overly tired, when I usually don't feel that way. This isn't really something that I'm going to be documenting on YouTube unless I notice like something drastic like this being successful. Like, I'm so excited. I'm just ready for like my mental health just to calm down for a little bit, because it has been so strongly painful. I have been depressed. I have been low. I have been.
And I just think it's interesting that in her entire career on YouTube, she had never mentioned like painful emotions or anything that even sounds like that until she discovered BPD, until she started hearing some of these quotes and stuff from like Marsha Linehan, who is the person who created DBT and has a lot of quotes about, you know, BPD and things like that. And she starts hearing these quotes like, it's painful, it feels like third-degree burns emotionally and blah, blah, blah. And then she starts saying stuff like, it's painful, you guys, these emotions are painful. But she never even described anything even remotely similar to that for 10 years. She just had bad behavior and treated people like crap, and then later started blaming it on BPD. And I think once she started realizing that people weren't going to let her use that as an excuse, she then decided she wanted sympathy. So then she starts talking about how it's painful, you guys.
I have been feeling things that I do not want to share here on YouTube, but I have just not been feeling good.
You know what she's hinting at. You know what she's trying to insinuate. Because she knows that if she says, oh, I've been having these feelings that I don't want to say on YouTube, that she'll have her babies will come out in droves and be like, Amber, the world wouldn't be the same without you. Please don't do anything drastic. We love you. You're worth it, and blah, blah, blah. And that gives her that, that sympathy, that narcissistic supply that she wants so bad.
And I just want to make something very clear. If I stop talking about the fact that I'm taking Zoloft doesn't mean that I'm not taking it anymore. It's just I don't want to give you guys a play-by-play. It's just I've talked about it a lot in this vlog because that's literally what's going on in my life right now, is me beginning a medicine that I'm really anxious about taking. But like, I know I need to take it, so I need to let that anxiety subside, because
I don't know, man. I like how she says, if I stop talking about Zoloft, that doesn't mean I'm not taking it anymore, you know? Another option is that she's not taking it at all, and she knows that at some point she's going to forget that she's supposedly taking it, and she wants to sort of get ahead of that. Now, that's a little far-fetched, but it's Amberlynn. You know, you just never know.
I need to take it, so I need to let that anxiety subside because Zoloft is here to help with my anxiety. Hello. So it is the next day. You guys, I am genuinely so sad.
What is this? What is on her head? I've never seen that look before. That is a look. I don't know, man. She has the weirdest ideas of what looks good on her.
You guys, I am genuinely so sad for Justin Bieber. I have always been a fan of him. So it is the next day. You guys, I am genuinely so sad for Justin Bieber. I have always been a fan of him. Like, he is genuinely talented. And, you know, I've been seeing clips of him and you can just tell he's really going through it. And it looks like he's struggling with addiction. And I think what really made me be like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening is the clip of SZA bringing him out at her show, and it's just heartbreaking. And there's like so many people watching that and like not realizing that we are watching someone like literally struggle right before our eyes, and it just genuinely breaks my heart. I so badly wish he would get help. Like, that is the type of stuff that I grew up around, so I know exactly what it looks like when I see it. And I guess
See, she can't just feel sorry for somebody else. She has to bring herself into it, no matter what. Even a long time ago when Beck had hurt their ankle when they were still together. This was early in the relationship. Beck tripped on a pothole or something and hurt their ankle. And Amber was telling the story about it.
And Becky took maybe 2 steps into a parking lot, and there was a pothole that she did not see, and she stepped in it and fell.
And Amber then starts talking about how she had a broken bone one time.
They even said that, you know, that's harder to heal than even a broken bone. I actually broke my bone when I was like 7, 8, 9, one of those ages. So I was really worried about her because broken bones are horrible, sprains are horrible.
So the story then just turned to talk about Amber, because that's what she does. She doesn't really care about what's going on with anybody else. She has to make sure you know something about her in every story.
I guess it's kind of good that some people like literally can't look at someone and just immediately know like, yeah, they're suffering from addiction big time. The things that Justin Bieber went through like at such a young age, it definitely starts to show up more and more as an adult. And my heart just like genuinely goes out to him, truly. I don't know, I just like had to speak on that because it's like, I don't know, it's weighing heavy on my heart. But for a big topic change here, it's finally time to do my weekly Amazon haul. So first things first, I got vitamin D. So my doctor wants me to take 2,000 IU.
So this is another example of what Emily said when she just buys random crap. And the fact that she can have a weekly Amazon haul.
Daily. And then for my medicine, I got this cute little container here. And this is literally perfect for days where I'm gonna not be home. I could just plop this in my purse. So I got a Brita filter because I want to drink more water, but I'm trying to work on like...
So somebody pointed out a good observation, and that is that she got one of those sink filters. Actually, I went back and found the clip, and it's actually a water dispenser that you put on a 5-gallon jug.
I saw this guy. You still get to get your 5-gallon water bottle, but you put this water dispenser, it's like an automatic water dispenser on top of it. Like, yeah, it's not gonna be cold water because most 5-gallon thingy-majiggers can't fit in refrigerators, but girl, I have ice, so I'm good. So this is gonna help me continue drinking more water, but using less plastic.
So I wonder what happened to that. And the whole point of that was so that she would drink more water.
My plastic consumption when it comes to water bottles, and to keep track of how much water I'm drinking, since usually I do that with water bottles. I don't have really anything to do that with a Brita filter. I got this 40-ounce water thingy-majigger, and what I like about it is there's a built-in straw, so you just press this button, bloop, it opens like that. There's a built-in straw here. The brand is Owala. So my friend actually has one of these, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. It keeps your water.
So the fact that she just has bought 1,000 of these is stupid. But the Awalas are actually pretty good. My daughter has one that she loves to take to school, and my wife has one, my daughter has one, and we like them. But she doesn't need it. She's had so many of these.
Water cold for up to 24 hours. I also got another mesh shirt.
I will say about those Awalas, they do keep water cold, because at one point, my wife had ice water in hers. She set it on the counter. We went to bed. The next day at like, I don't know, sometime in the afternoon, I went to go start doing the dishes, and I opened the thing and there's still ice in it. I was like, how long has it been sitting here? And I thought maybe she had refilled it or something. So I asked her, I said, when's the last time you used this? She said, you know, yesterday in the afternoon or whatever. So almost 24 hours and it still had ice in it. I was like, dang, that's pretty good.
Here is black with red hearts. literally adorable. I feel like that's gonna look super cute on me, totally my style. I've been trying to eat leftovers more lately, so I got this seal tight glass bowl. So this is really good for when I make soup type stuff, chili type stuff that I want in a bowl, or things like overnight oats, or maybe like a yogurt with fruit and granola, etc., etc. And it's so cute. There's so many options. It was pretty expensive, so if you need more than one, think about that wallet, girl, because it was expensive. So I did just get one. And then I got two.
That's just what she needs, is some sort of fancy container for her soups and crap.
New perfumes. I got the juice perfumes. I got 100% chilled and
Again, just got to get that money out there, you know? She doesn't need it here, she needs it out there.
pure sugar. I think the packaging is just so adorable. Look at that. So there are a lot of perfumes that I've been wanting for the longest of times, and these are two of them. So the button is here and it comes out of here. Oh, that smells so good. It is just so adorable. Look at that.
Now, the good news is this time I don't have perfume on my card, but yet again, and I keep saying this, but think of how much perfume she has and how many she's bought. It's kind of disgusting, honestly.
All right, you guys, no Lego update this week, but time for tarot. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the same deck. I'm going to be doing the Life Happens deck. Let me fix this a little bit. Hello, hello. It is the next day, by the way, but I'm sure that was obvious. I'm going to edit out all the shuffling. First one is spiritual bath. Second one is love. Third card is freedom. For me, I feel like this is telling me I need to be free of the burdens, the things in my life that are genuinely causing me unhappiness, because by doing so, I will have a sense of freedom.
What? I need to be free of the things that are bringing me unhappiness? Yeah. Bro, that is what everybody on earth wants to do. That is kind of the whole point of life, is to try to be as happy as possible and unburden yourself with unhappiness. Like, duh. Why did you need an oracle card to tell you, yeah, I don't like being unhappy? We know.
Hyper focused on self-love. And that goes with like the spiritual bath. I am trying to be more spiritual because that's something I do believe in. I do believe believing in the universe is my own spiritual thing. I just feel like there's something heavy, no pun intended, because I'm not talking about my weight, but I just feel like there's something heavy that I need to let go of. So that is the end of this vlog. I hope that you guys did enjoy, by the way, a lot.
She talks about self-love a lot, and in her mind, self-love is just enabling herself and giving herself permission to XYZ, never holding herself accountable. That's self-love to her. So the more she gets these cards telling her to, practice self-love, the less accountability she takes, the less actual work she's ever going to do, because she's like, self-love, okay, I got it. I'm just going to not feel guilty about those loaded tots. Self-love. So they're not good for her because she just interprets them as a way to continue her horrible habits and behaviors.
A lot of people say that they love this deck. I got it off of Amazon. This deck is honestly,
I think she just gets everything off of Amazon. And why would anybody ask her where she got it without looking at Amazon first? And that's why I don't think anybody asked her where to get that deck. I think anybody who wanted to know would just look on Amazon first.
stunning. My favorite deck. Anyways, I hope that you guys did enjoy this vlog, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
So she does not do the kiss thing. So this one was a lot about mental health, and hey, got a bingo. I hope I didn't miss any other ones, but that's okay. I got my bingo, so I'm cool. So she talked a lot about how low her mental health is and how depressed she is and stuff like that. And I don't think she's necessarily just making that up, but I don't think it's as bad as she's making it seem. But I do think there is some of that. And I think it's because she's getting older. And I think stuff is kind of starting to sink in a little bit, that she may not have much longer to go. Because, 10 years ago, you can say, if I don't live past 35, like whatever, that's old. Well, then all of a sudden you're 35. You wake up the next day and you're 35. It gets here so fast, you just don't expect it. So now that she is at the age where she kind of was always like, if I make it to 35, I'll be happy. Well, now she's at that point. So I think it's starting to sink in a little bit that maybe things should change. The problem is, At this point, she's incapable of actually making the changes she needs to make. And it's not because she's tried and failed so many times, she's just never tried. And she's never tried at anything. She can't. She has never conditioned herself to actually try at anything. Amber has been so incredibly lucky up to this point to not be riddled with health issues as big as she is. Now, that's not gonna last. It's gonna catch up to her eventually. I think she will last longer than most people her size, but I don't think she will ever realize how lucky she is to do that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.